Hello friends, how are you people? From the Kingmakers IAS Academy, we present a Mains 2020 Target Special Current Affairs on Social Issues on the basis of Weekly Hindu. And it's me, Vijeta Dinakaran. I'm a UPSC topper 2018. I got 687 rank and I'm a faculty also in Kingmakers IAS Academy for the sociology and the social issues and all other subjects handled on prelims and main basis by me. So it's useful for it will be very useful video, and the video series is going to bring till your mains exam, which is going to be held in January. So useful for essay, okay, and means GS paper 1, GS paper 2, ethics paper and sociology optional. So you know that what is the importance of current affairs in the UPSC answer writing, and which will increase your marks, and which will increase, there is a possibility to bring a very good rank in the UPSC civil service examinations. So keeping these things in our mind, I started this. I think that it will be very useful, because the same social issues, current affairs, if you see that, always the UPSC want that in essay, in GS paper 1, paper 2, ethics, and as well as sociology. Whatever the current affairs happened, if you give example of that current affairs, it will looks very different your answer from all other students or aspirants who are giving the mains exam. So this is very important. This series we are bringing here. Just keep in your mind that how much it will save your time to collect the issues and to understand the issues, where to use it particularly when such kind of questions it is coming in the UPSC mains exams, and as well as it will give you the right direction that which way you can use it, this news in your paper. For example, if you see any news paper, you will get many news in the one day paper itself, but you don't have that knowledge that where you can use this news as a positive or as a negative aspect. So many people have a doubt in their mind that we cannot write as such against the government, we cannot write as such which is going in the society, which we cannot able to mention. No, not like that. Definitely, if you understand the news better, you will get the link there where you can link this in your answer writing. Okay, so let's start with this, the first part in the August. Okay, so this first news, it came about the COVID-19 crisis as the metropolitan battle. So as you know that now whatever the news it is coming, mostly it is related to COVID-19 pandemic issues. But in this COVID-19 pandemic issue, this COVID-19, you can link it as a globalization negative, okay, globalization negative aspect plus health issue. You can ask with social issues also, like it will increase poverty, it will increase unemployment, like that. So one COVID-19, let it be a part of science and technology, but this science and technology topic, definitely you going to link with the international aspect, like negativity or the negative useful of globalization, health, social sector, particularly Indian perspective, like that. So the first topic, COVID-19 crisis as a metropolitan battle, if you see here. So as you know that we people are here in the metropolitan places, and you know this, how this particularly city are badly affected by this COVID-19 pandemic. So the news came like the absence of comprehensive and integrated urban planning. So you can expect in your second paper, GS second paper, whatever the urban planning, okay, if the question is coming, definitely you can add this COVID-19 type of news in giving your answer for presently in the current urban planning issue came in the COVID-19 phases, like that. So the news talks about it's a absence of urban planning, okay, visible in the pandemic. So definitely the urban planning was not there very much, you can say that, which would have saved this kind of pandemic things from this city to be going in a worse situation. And India's top metropolitan cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad are now account for nearly half of these cases. So here having these cases nearly half only in this four metropolitan city as per the article it is saying. So India's public health expenditure in 2018 was mere this. See, you can relate it why there is a problem of COVID-19 situation going worst in the metropolitan city. First, you can give like urban planning was not as per the planning should have been there. First point. Second point, you can say that see the public expenditure on health merely it was a 1.28% of the is not very much enough to take care if this kind of situation is going to come in the future also. So what you have to write in your answer, not by yourself, definitely the points you have to be mentioned in your paper will be according to World Bank, like that you have to mention. So so now you are going to mention giving the statistics. See, these statistics you can help, you can write down in the introduction part also, because in the introduction given introductions in your answer by giving a definition of that particular topic or by giving some kind of statistics of particular current affairs, or recently it was in the news, like that. So definitely you can give this example as an introduction that according to World Bank, India's out-of-pocket health expenditure was this much. How much? 62.4% in 2017. And the world average actually was 18%. Now you understand here what is actually the out-of-pocket expenditure. Out-of-pocket expenditure is one of the concerned issue of now health sector of India. Okay, because whatever the health GDP, GDP is allotting. For example, now it is giving here 1.28%. It is not enough, but due to the government hospitals are not very well equipped with the facilities they should provide to the people, the private sector or the private hospitals are coming up and filling this gap of public sector hospital. Now people are going and spending their lot of money in getting facilities from the private hospital. So there it is called it as a out of pocket expenditure. And then you will understand here the problems overall. Please understand here the news says that as per the WHO, the world level of pocket expenditure is just 18%, but it is there in India 62%. One of the first when you are writing in your exam the problem, or where the problems arises, so you can mention in this way. So the manpower, second is manpower in health sector is very low. Second point, first is GDP expenditure is very low. Second, out of expenditure is very high. Third, the manpower in the health sectors are going low with the India's doctor population ratio is just 1:140, about like 1500, which is lower than actually 1:1000. So manpower in the health sector is low with India's doctor population is this one, which is lower than the World Health Organization of this one. And for 1000 patient there should be one doctor, but here for 1500 patient there is a one doctor, which it means. So fourth point, lack of robust integrated partial planning. So you can say that partial planning is not there, which actually in the constitution. So I can here present you that when you reading any articles, please do the structure over here, that what are the lack of problems and facilities are there in the government which actually causes for this kind of situation. Formation of Metropolitan Planning Committee, which is there in the constitution, but what you can see it here that as per the Janagraha Annual Survey of India City Systems 2017 report that only 9 states out of the 18 cities assessed had constituted this. So there is a lack of even the Metropolitan Planning Committee, which is there in the constitution as per the urban planning, okay, but it is not being addressed. This is one of the cause. Then the next point you can write. See, many points you're getting from the paper which you will not get in your any books. Okay, whatever the limited books it is there, it will just giving the outline of this particular syllabus. But what you have to add it, this kind of things which is coming in the paper, which you normally going wasted because you are not giving full concentration and importance to this notes, okay, from the newspaper. Next is the absence of comprehensive integrated planning. Okay, so visible in the COVID-19 crisis, that poor housing. So definitely when you one drain itself, it's enough to show that what is the condition of your city, because the lack of urban planning and municipality are not addressing the problem of wastage. Now you can see that anywhere, everywhere, the lot of water loss which cause due to the effect of poor urban planning, poor housing planning, sanitation planning, and lack of access of meaningful social security as a reality for urban poor. So when you talks about the urban planning, no, one of the hint I am giving here, urban poor and urban rich. Okay, urban planning should be there for particularly urban poor people, because those who are really suffering a lot in the urban city, these poor people, their problems is what, housing facilities, people is there living on the road, okay, and they don't have a particularly sanitation, addressing the sanitation issue. So for that reason, many of the problem of the urban planning is also coming. Second, only medium to long term spatial planning is there to focus on equal access to opportunity and service can avoid the repeated search. So definitely you should go with the long term planning method, address the housing effect, which will address the sanitation problem, which will affect address the problem all over the overall wholly, they can address the problem. Then weak municipal capacity. Definitely there is a weak municipal capacity because of the finance and staffing. So COVID-19 resuffers the poor capacity of municipality in delivering the infrastructure and service and managing disaster. So definitely it is urgency to boost from this area. Now you have highlighted the problem. Definitely if you highlighted the problem, you should also understand that this highlighting of problems will not be complete if you suggest some and you write about the way forward. Okay, so way forward you can use this point that there is a need for finance and staffing, okay, and urgency to booster the capability of municipality to self-govern. Weak mayor and councils are fragmentation of governance. Definitely, the mayor has a responsibility. They have a full power and authority to take care about the metropolitan problem. But the weak mayor, they are not getting so much of power and authority, which is feeling like a toothless. And no big metropolitan cities with 10 million plus population has a directly elected mayor. So you can suggest that this is a problem that the directly mayor elected is not there in the mostly 10 millions plus populations of the city. So definitely it should be go as a solution that it should not be happen in the future. Mayor should not have a full decision making authority. That is why they don't have a decision making authority, because they're not directly, okay. And over crucial functions of planning, housing, water, environment, fire and emergency service in most of the cases. So our metropolitan cities are far from being local self-government. These things you can give in the aspect that we have a concept of local self-government, but still local self-government, it means that self totally taken care by the at the local level, but these things are not happening because of this kind of problems, which you can say it as a directly elected mayors are not being there in the 10 million plus population. That is why they cannot have a full decision making authority. Next, when you come to the point which is there in the paper also, newspaper, planning water and public transport report directly to state government. The state government also largely control public work. So over interference of state government in the local self-government issues, which is even not assigning the duties and responsibility at a very distinct level. Okay, transparency, accountability and citizen participation are not there, which you can say that there is a main reason which the people are pointing the problem, but it is not reaching to the government. And absence of citizens participation is worsened to poor transparency in finance and operation. Whatever I have highlighting here, Okay, these things is very important points you have to mention in your paper when there is a urban planning type of question it is coming in your exam. So decentralized citizen participation. So what is the solution now? Please, the real aspect of local self-government is what? Decentralization of government. So do the decentralization citizen participation platform, and challenges posed by COVID-19 after the glimpse into various other future threats to climate change. So as you've seen that COVID-19, now it is one of the pandemic things, but definitely it will also go and give in, arise a new problems of climate change issues also, because it is also one of the natural disasters. But climate change we were addressing till now, that also we are not enough very much what to say to tackle, like a flood like situations, a drought like situations. But over this COVID-19 showed us that we are not prepared to face any kind of this pandemic things. Okay, so the first years in 5-year tenure. So solutions here you can start. First step should include empower the mayor with 5-year tenure, decentralize what level governance. Then India should use current pandemic as an opportunity. So please don't blame it, as the author here, the writer is saying that please don't blame the situation of COVID-19. Here we can have an opportunity to introspect and reform the ways its metropolises are governed. Okay, so this article talks about urban planning, their problems, okay, their solutions, and what are the way forward you can write in your paper. Okay, so very important point which you are getting it again and again. You have to understand that the current, how much you can able to write and relate with the current situation, your answer will be that much enriched. Now the second topic it came, South Asian migrant crisis. Okay, now it was there in the news that now because of this COVID-19 situation, mostly the South Asian labor force which is there in the Gulf country, okay, like Dubai, Arab countries, and all others, has forms the backbone of the Gulf economy. So here from the India it is going there, all the workers and laborer, and the Gulf economics are depend on our South Asian labor force. So from the Kerala, mostly from India, if you take the example, mostly they are going and working there in the Gulf country. Now why it is in the news that because those who are coming back to India for particularly this type of situation in the COVID-19, they have no social security protection or labor right in their own country. So for this reason, the Kerala High Court issued a notice to the central and state government of on petition seeking to set up a mechanism to assist the NRI who had lost their job abroad and had returned to India. Now you understand. Now you can expect a question here on the social issues, that how to address the labor or migrant crisis. So migrant, if you want to add it, don't think really about the refugees, but here after the COVID-19 situation, you can also add from the Gulf region, or the labor or the worker who were working outside the country. They also treated as a migrant, and India having, or other South Asian labor association having, don't not having any social security protection and labor rights. So recently Kerala government has issued a central and state government a notice seeking the mechanism for this particular persons. The petition exposed the precarious labor in the Gulf Corporation Council. Employers, particularly constructions company, have used this crisis as an opportunity to reinterest the mass of migrant labor without paying them wages. So what is happening is, now these people are coming here, they don't have a labor, they don't have a job. Now many companies in India, now they are using it as a cheap labor in our country. So cheap labor means definitely the salary will be very low, their salary will not be, and other benefit which they were getting in the Gulf country, which they are not getting, because this particular labor has not been treated as a particular labor, and they are being exploited in the hand of the employer. So this actually happened. The South Asia South Migration Gulf Migration Corridor is among the largest in the world. So when this is the Gulf Corporation migration, most of the peoples from the South Asian are going as a laborer and worker to the South Asian Gulf Corridor, and the South Asian Gulf Migration Corridor is one of the largest in the world. So they have no safety. So definitely the country which they are sending the money as a remittance getting help, the country is taking help from this money, and they have no safety, no social security protections, welfare mechanisms from the right. So definitely it is something which you're taking as a help. Okay, they are very much benefiting from the remittance to the country, but at the same time, when these people don't have any help, though this country also not working on the giving some kind of labor rights or help as a social security, like that Kerala state government is blaming. Now, even plight of migrant laborers who had been evacuated during the Iraqi. Now, he is taking the author is taking the help of the history, and he's saying that in our history, even we have been evacuated during the Iraqi invasion of Kuwait in the 1990, and we found during our field research in Kuwait a while ago that even the people coming from this area also, they had not been given any kind of social security or the labor, some kind of protection from the labor side. In the initial days of the lockdown, even the Kerala government had requested to send regular medicines for lifestyle diseases. And in the proper lockdown, the Kerala government, you can take the help of the example of the Kerala government that in the lockdown period also, they have not neglected their people, Kerala people, those who were working in the Gulf, okay, and they have sent some kind of medicines are from the Kerala state, since these medicines are expensive in the Gulf councils country. So this example you can write that how the Kerala government is helping in the same way, holistic way the state, other state people, and a holistic way central government also should bring some kind of measures to take care of this migrant labor. So Indian constitute the largest segment of South Asian workforce. Gulf migration is predominantly here, mostly the males are going for the works outside, and the majority of the migrants are single men living in the congested. So you can say that they are also in the Gulf region also, mostly it will be a single man, male oriented laborers are going, where they are very much congestedly spending their life, and they share the rooms and toilets to save the earning and send back. This remittance the government is getting because, facing many difficulties there in that particular country. And in the COVID-19 spike in these labor camps has mainly been due to overcrowded and unsanitary living condition. The most neglected segment were migrant women, domestic worker whose untold miseries have increased in the present situation. So now the author is trying to tell here that the problems are coming from this migrant labor, and mostly it is affected by the women, and even these people are living very bad living conditions in the particular country, but still they are sending many money to the home. So please, government has to take care of their life when they are coming in this kind of situation. So the countries of origin are now faced with the challenge of rehabilitating, reintegrating and resettling. So when you are giving the solutions of this particular problem of migrant labor, please use this kind of words, okay? Rehabilitating, reintegrating and resetting. So you can use the diagram as such like this, okay? Write down this here and you can give it like this. So how much you can able to present in your answer, it will give a holistic approach to the examiner that you have presented your answer with adding a current affairs, with adding some kind of diagram also, which will definitely fetch your marks in this. This migrant worker. So to facilitate this, India government has announced the Swadesh. Now solution, you have to show it that government also done something, because the news was there that Kerala government has given this kind of medicine facility. Now government has announced recently Swadesh. Okay, this is the government provisions. You can say that government has given Swadesh for skill mapping of citizen returning from abroad, but implementation seems to be uncertain. So already government have this kind of facility to Swadesh type of which government has already introduced that, but this implementation is a problem. So paradoxically, countries that are sending migrant worker abroad are caught between the promotion of migration or on the one hand and protection of migrant right. So one of the problems to face problem is there. One is country that is sending migrant worker abroad. They are caught between the promotion of migration on the one hand and protection of migrant rights. So what is the need of the hour is? The need of the hour is comprehensive migration migration management system. So you can use this kind of things in a way forward. And way forward, if you use it, no, definitely they will know that you have taken as from the newspaper. So there is a need of the hour is migration management system for country that send worker as well as those who that receive them. So they should be having a two-way approach. For the country, this is the worker. Okay, now this worker has been sent from this country to particular Gulf country, for example. Now there is a system should be there that there also they should be treated very good, and here when they want to come back also they should be having the same treatment they should get from their own country, and it called it as a migration management system. Okay, migration management system, very good point of way forward. So this you can suggest in your answer. Next news was there, significant of Char Dham. See, it is related to religion aspect, and religion, it is there in the syllabus of sociology, and religion aspect they can ask you in any paper, in ethics paper also. So the religion aspect, whenever the news is coming in the paper, you have to take care what exactly the constitution says about the religion and all that, and additional point you can add from this kind of paper. So there was a news in significance of Char Dham board verdict, because Char Dham, first of all, you have to understand Yamuna, Gangotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath is called it as a Char Dham, and it is related to the the Uttarakhand government it has, and the news says that the Uttarakhand law allegedly take controls over these 4 sacred places in the state. Now, if this kind of news is coming, okay, including the Kedarnath and Badrinath, actually challenged by the MP called Subramaniam Sami has challenged in the court that how the state government can allegedly take controls over these particular sacred places. And this such laws are in place for a number of temples, okay, like Jagannath Puri, Vaishnav Devi, and all these laws are there. But interestingly, even Manu's code provide that no priest having the role and particular management. Instead, kings in the ancient time, India had a vital say in temple management. So then, how a particular state government can say that I have a full rule over this particular temple, and nobody has a no control, they can say that to the state government like that. So the news came because of this reason, and as per the constitution, now even the Kedarnath, Badrinath were under the state management prescribed by the Badrinath and Kedarnath Temple Act 1939. Now the newly enacted law merely replaced this act, and this act says that under the state management is there who will control this temple, but hereafter the state government will be taking care all this. Now the Chief Justice of Uttarakhand High Court examined all issue connected with the violation of religious right of Hindus in temple management, and laws upheld by the judiciary through Hindutva force blamed the Congress party and secularism for this. Now when the concept is coming about the secularism, there is a concept of secularism that government can take a religion aspect, but it should not be from particular one religion. So all religion is there equal in India. Okay, that is a real understanding of secularism as the Indian perspective. So when you are writing about such things, you have to write down that there is a consistent judgment in the Supreme Court. Before this, Subramaniam Sami has been given this kind of particular petition. So before this also, Supreme Court such as state of Odisha, this kind of judgment will help you in strongly tells about your point in the exam that no state government have a right to take control of the particular temple, because before this also there is a case called state of Odisha and Sri Jagannath versus Chintamani Kuntiya or in 1997. Okay, next case MP Gopalakrishna Nair and the state of Kerala in 2005, holding that management of the temple is primarily a secular act. When you talks about, you have to build your answer very strongly by taking the Supreme Court judgment. Very important if you remember that Supreme Court judgment in particular topic. For example, in particular religion topic, okay, you please by heart these two cases so that you should be have ingredients in your hand to give in your paper as a ready-made. So Supreme Court is the state of Odisha versus state of Kerala Gopalakrishna case. It is already been given that it is the every state has to be act as a secular. In the major setback of Hindutva argument in the state control of Hindu temple, Uttarakhand High Court in July 21 upheld the constituently of the Uttarakhand Char Dham, this management board. Okay, and there you can see that all religious reforms are registered. Thus, the Sabrimala judgment in 2018 was a huge public process. So here also, the government is just interfering in this, and there also the protest, you can see it here. This writer favors the grant of autonomy to Hindu temples in managing their religious affairs as a state control. But in the last 6 years, the central government has not taken any initiative to release temple from the clutch of the state. So here, see, whatever the case, you can say that the secularism concept has to be there, maintained in the country. The Supreme Court in Narhari Sastri and other versus Sri Badrinath Temple Committee had already been Badrinath to be the public temple. Okay, it has been given that Badrinath is a public temple of Hindu and not conformed to any family. Okay, and the secular activities of the temples can be regulated by the state. One of the major argument of Hindutva victimhood is that this kind of state control is absent for Muslim. See, actually this court judgment has given that only why the Hindu temples are there controlling by the particular state, and it is been absent for the Muslims Wagh and Muslims Gurdwara. So the court clarified that in matter of religion or right to management is a guaranteed fundamental rights under Article 26B, but in respect of property, the right to administer property under Article 26C is to be examined or exercised in accordance with the law. So you have a constitutional amendment, a constitutional provisions according to the religious of management as a guaranteed fundamental rights, that who can have a management control in that. Thus, the state is entitled to regulate administration of religious or temple property by means of valid enacted act. Now, here in this point, actually, this is saying that even in the constitution, it is saying that even if the state can have a management control in this, so the two side you can write it. One side you can say definitely the state should not interfere, and as per the constitution also it is giving that even the state is entitled to regulate and administer of this religious temple property by means of valid enacted acts. Okay, so the both the way. Now let's see the Supreme Court how they give the judgment of these particular cases. Next topic came as a rebuild India's confidence, review the economy. So rebuild India's confidence through economy, as you know that COVID-19 very badly affected. Okay, and you know that because of this, definitely it is something you can say that the society is going to affect. Okay, many things are there, you can say that definitely it is going to affect in the particular time. Now the inability of nation, that this article talks about, the part to sustain recovery is to improve sentiments in society using economic terms. The part to sustain recovery is to improve sentiments in society using economic tools. So if recover the economy, sentiments of the people in the society, definitely it will come and believe in you. Okay, this is actually meaning. So definitely economy is depend. So you can say like that, economy and society each are depend. Society and economy each are interrelated. Okay, so this talks about that the ability of nations to control the spread of novel coronavirus and the lack of confirmed cure for the disease have accelerated people's concern. Definitely people having concern on that. So disruptions of normal social order, it increased, and it impacted the livelihood and the larger economy. So this is among the economies that a global economy will experience one of the worst here, and India is not an exceptional in this. So economic contractions means a reversal of many year progress. Definitely whatever the India has progressed till now, so definitely it will go in reverse. And when you talks about the particular COVID-19 situation effect afterwards, so weak sections may slip back into poverty. So when you show that the economic causes, when you say that slip back poverty, many people will go with this poverty line. You can show like this. This is a poverty line. Many people will go here again below the poverty. So show that what is the situation in the COVID-19 time. Many enterprises may shut down. Entire generations may be lost due to severe unemployment. So problems one by one it is coming. Unemployment, Okay, many peoples will go below the poverty line, and even it is urgency to back economy back to for the good. Down in economy activity is both the functions of external factors such as lockdown and behavioral change of the people of enterprises. Now, because of the lockdown, you can also understand that many behavioral change is also happening. For example, people used to work not only village, but they want to work in the city. But here now behavioral change is happening. It was going from village to city. Now after the COVID-19, many peoples are going from city to village. So something the way reversal of economy you can say and experience. You can write in this paper also. People must feel confident about their livelihood and this and entire ecosystems you have to bring it on back. So for entrepreneur, what the economy or the government can do is make them to feel confident and reopening and making investment. So entrepreneur give a confidence that they can easily can go and invest in the economy. Bankers should feel confident about providing the capital. Definitely, if the banks are giving the capital, the entrepreneur can go and invest in the market. So this is a holistic way, you can say that. In the holistic way, if you want to understand here, see, this is the banking. Okay, one way it is a banking, one way it leads to the entrepreneur. Okay, and when it will give money to the, and when the investment is coming, market and the market will be on back, demand and supply needs will address, and consumer will be getting things to utilize, and they will consume these things. But definitely consumer also should have some kind of money and employment, so it should not lead to unemployment. Definitely it will increase then the problem of here economically. Okay, so this was actually the author tried to tell here. So multilateral organization must feel confident through providing funds. Even the India should get organizations. One point, sovereign rating agencies must feel confident about India's ability. Even rating agency also should get the confidence about India's economy. They should also rate India's, and fortunately, the Manrega program has proved to be bedrock of support. So, in this particular COVID-19 time, the weaker section or the people, the migrant labor, they are coming back to their village, and this Manrega program of 100 days work only helping out in this particular time. So that is why authors are saying that thanks to this Manrega program, which at least gives a bread and butter to migrant labor. So you can say that the Manrega program is one of the good initiative, and which in the COVID-19 situation also providing many help to the migrant people. So most of them are displaced and non-agricultural workers struggling to make ends meet. So in that Manrega program is helping them to take care of their livelihood at least. Money in hand of people can provide an immediate sense of security. So what is the situation or what is the solution? Anybody want to suggest here as a way forward? You can say that even money in hand of people, immediate sense of security and confidence, you can say that government should provide a money in hand like a direct transfer benefit. Now COVID-19 assistance measure undertaken by the Reserve Banks is one of the good things, such as the interest rate reductions, credit guarantee, liquidity. So here you can say that the RBI is giving so much of particular measurement of interest rate reductions and monetary benefit like that. Schemes are welcome steps, but they have largely failed since banks are not confident. Whatever the RBI has given, as you people also know that banks are not taking them to the giving to customer. So it is now in the COVID-19 time that the RBI things are not following by the bank. If the banks are following RBI things and measures giving to the public, definitely the economy will bring back on a track very soon. Allowing institutions such as RBI, public sector bankruptcy board, securities and insurance regulator to function freely and professionally is a foundational step to confidence. So ultimate things here author is trying to tell here how the confidence will be maintained in the economy. So here many roles played by entrepreneur, banking, RBI, government. So you can also give your answer in this prospect that confidence building by RBI, by bank, by entrepreneur, by government. So it can easily come to the on track. Okay, if there is a confidence among people to spend and among bankers to lend, then the private sectors will spontaneously driven the confidence to the people. Private sectors are not opening it, and many people are not getting job because of this. Okay, and you can suggest here solutions. Okay, one of the solutions, see, large direct cash assistance to people. Second, improving cash adequacy to bank. Definitely give money, capital to bank also, so that the bank will get the capital, means they can lend to particular people or the entrepreneur. Providing credit guarantee schemes. Corporates require significant financial resources. So corporate peoples let the many significant schemes to have a credit. It should be given to the corporation, so that corporate peoples should come and invest in the businesses. India must make full use of loan programs of international institutions. So from where, see, the author is preparing many measures here. First, here giving direct payment. Next, inadequacy, bank capital, definitely. Okay, advantage of this. The next, India also should get the money from international organization and international monetary funds like World Bank. So India is confronted with the dangerous dignity of military, health and economic threat. Now military, because as you know that neighboring states and neighboring countries are very much disturbing India. Even the health sectors are having the concern because of the COVID-19, and at the same time it will relate to even economic threat also. So India entered the COVID-19 crisis in the precarious positions, is slowing, growing, rising unemployment, more going to be pandemic than a COVID-19 situation. Like that you can give in your answer. Okay, now you understand economic aspects, how it is related to the society. Next point, it came as a parents the first and natural tutor. So this was there in the news because of the because of the national educational policy, which comes after 30 years or 3 decades after. So these things were there. So national education policy makes the case to early childhood care and education. So as you know, now this is the national education policy 2020. What are the features if we see it here? One features, you can say, universalization of education from preschool to secondary level with 100% gross enrollment ratio in school. Okay, so first of all, gross enrollment ratio means the ratio of admission in the school should increase to 100% in that particular age. Okay, and by 2030. So these are all the features of the new education policy. So gross enrollment ratio in higher education to be raised by 50% by 2035, and no rigid separation between academic streams, extracurricular vocational streams. This kind of activity separations will not be there, and this policy will bring 2 crore out of school children back into the mainstream, and vocational education to start from class 6 to and internship. Okay, so this is the new concept of new 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. For example, this one. Okay, previously our structure used to be here 2 years. First we will be here. Okay, like foundations our will be here. Then from age to 16 years, from from 10th standard till 10th standard we will be here, and 2 years we will be there in 11, 12, and then academic structure will be starting. Now it has changed this from this to 3 years to 5 years. Okay, this 5 years now. That is why 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, see here, 3 plus 5, 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Okay, so this will be now increased from 3 years. Children will be there from 3 years, will go to the school, and 3 to 6 years will be in this stage of foundation. Okay, and from the age of 8 years till 8 years it will be there in the foundation stage. Okay, 8 years means up to 4th standard. Then 3 years from class 3 to 5, okay, will be there in 3 next stage. Then from 6 to 8 will be there. So 9, 10, 11, 12 will be another concept of secondary. So it will be foundation, pre-primary level or middle level, secondary level, and then new academic structure will be going to start. So this is a new education policy, and this comes after 3 decades. Okay, so 34 years after the last national policy on education was introduced in 1986. Now after that 2020 it has been increased. Now it will be the features of 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 years. So definitely here 9 to 12 and will be there. Okay, so the news came because of this, and it says that schooling providing quality of early childhood care and education. From the 3 years itself, the children can go to the school, and over 85% of the child cumulative brain development occurs before of this age. So you can say that child development is when the child development will be very good. Definitely the same child will be very useful for the society, because if they get the right education, they will get a right life later on in the society. So definitely more crimes, child labor, child child harassment, child sexual problem will not be there in the society if the right education policy will be provided. Like that also you can link education policy with the child protection or child improvement. Okay, so this talks about this. At present says that policy children from socio-economically disadvantaged background do not have access to this, but hereafter it will also address. And this policy talks about providing the ingredients and right recipe and improving the national education policy on July 20th, and now it is been approved by the cabinet. Now let's see, the cabinet has taken an important steps, and now it is under scrutiny. So based on 2 committee reports, extensive national-wide consultation, this is a new vision for the education system. Okay, so this was actually given in the news about the new education policy. And it also talks about that recognize importance of learning in child's mother tongue. First stage, no, when you see in that first stage, 5th up to 5th year, so they can learn from their mother tongue language also. Maybe we should recognize that between age 3 and 8, picking up language is child play, and blend the mother tongue and English in the first 5 years of the school. So might be they can choose for mother tongue language or English. So another key aspect is the breaking of the straitjackets of arts. For example, now you can go from the 9th or 10th standard to commerce streams, arts streams or something like that. But now it is not going to be like that. Commerce and science streams and high schools, and laudable goals of reducing vocational courses. So definitely it will be a new education policy, will be definitely increase the, it will give more advantage, and 100% gross enrollment ratio is also there, which is one of the key factor of this particular policy. Okay, so you can talk about this. But what are the proposal or statement that were emphatically made in the draft but are missing in the policy? Draft has been made, but it is not been included in the policy. One important statement was repeatedly made in the draft policy, that all commercially oriented private institutions will be closed. Actually, there was a demand to close the many private institutions, but it has not been addressed in the 2020. So you can expect this national education policy in critically examine the new educational policy 2020. Okay, and like that, critically examine the new education policy. Like that, you can expect the question in your paper too. In that, you can critically examine means what? You have to address the positive aspect also, you can address the negative aspect also, and then give this a particular important positive conclusion. So when the negative aspect, when you want to tell us about, you can say that the draft education policy addresses 2 main things, but it has not been included in the policy. Second, now the policy simply state that matter of commercialization of education has been dealt with by the policy through multiple relevant fronts, including the light but tight. See, the inclusion of light but tight policies there, it means that regulatory will be very tightly, but they will not be having any kind of private institutions closed type of things are not there in the new education policy. So regulation will be high. And second is draft policy promised doubling the public administration to 20% from the total government expenditure from 10%, but to 2020 policy simply reaffirms the commitment allocation of 6%. So draft, it was there 20% from 10%, but In the new education policy, now only it is a 6% of the GDP. These two things you can say that which is not good in the new education policy. Okay, so this was there in the news, so please you understand better and you can expect this in the exam as well. Next topic it came, language of unity. So by rejecting the three language formula in the new education policy, even the three language proposal given, and this has been not accepted by the Tamil Nadu government, because he said that three language formula is not, it is opposed of Hindi. So one suggested by English, second language of particular state, and third will be Hindi. But it is not okay with this kind of education policy. Okay, so he said that it is a collective sentiments of the people, that the proposal was saddening and painful, and appealed to the Prime Minister to allow state to follow their own education policy. Then you can say that particular states are not okay with re-education policy, or how the language is a policy. And you can say that in the state that restricted the multiple attempts to impose Hindi in 1937, since the 1937, and political parties are not very much okay to imposing Hindi. And since 1985, the state has even refused to allow the Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya here, which teaches the Hindi. The two-language policy of Tamil and English by the former Chief Minister S.N. Annadurai in 1968 has thus worked well in the state as per the particular state government. In a liberalized world, more windows to the world are being opened up for those proficiency in English or global language. Now they are saying that we will be very okay in English language. Why you people are imposing Hindi, saying that Hindi is a national language? No, Hindi is speaking majority of the northeastern or northeast state people. Then we are not saying that South countries language, especially imposing not only in the North India. Then why the North Indian language are imposing in the southern state? Like that, actually the problem arising from this. Okay, so this is there in the news because of this. And he said that if you are fluency in English, definitely it will even provide IT sector job, which is actually taking care very high fluency English job. So there is this counter argument that having students of opportunity to learn Hindi, and India is a federal nature and diversity demand that no regional language is given supremacy over other. So you can give a very two positive and negative aspect also. Positive aspect, you can say that how Hindi is majority of people are speaking Hindi, but definitely Hindi should not imposed before it can make a national language. Since Hindi is not a national language, definitely no other states can be agree, if particularly in the southern state. And improvement of English, it is very must, because everywhere now English is using. And why the Hindi speaking states are not very much giving importance to English then? Because everywhere English is useful, but that things are not taking care and addressed. But of Hindi in the non-Hindi speaking states are being imposed always. So that is why some states are opposing that. Okay. Next, the same things about the religion. Okay, lessons from mediating Ayodhya. So it was there in the newspaper that Babri Masjid and Ram temple it was constructing. Okay, so it was related to that aspect. But I don't think that is much useful, because it was there that the Muslims people and the Muslim community also is taking care that this is not done, and government cannot make a temple over there. So since government is a secular government is talking about the secularism. Next, bullets not in the Jammu Kashmir but books. It is the things which is taken care and written by the government, from the government people only, this this author. And he talks about the new education policy is going to be applicable in Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh also, and how it will improve it as aspirational educated skills, how it will increase it, and it will even overcome the violence, terrorism, and anti-national sentiments of that. So he talks about all that, how the education will change totally the society of Jammu Kashmir if the national education policy applicable there. Okay, and many a time like this government has improved by taking the bullets from the hand of the people of Jammu Kashmir and by giving the books in the hand of the people. Okay. Then the very important things, next article talks about invisible crisis. So here you can say that in this report, as per the global hunger report of 2019, very important, as I told that you can start your answer by global hunger report 2019. Okay, India's position or India ranked is just below the neighboring countries of Nepal, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, and it has slipped from to 102 out of 117 countries in the global world hunger report. So you can say that because of this COVID-19, it will also increase it, and economics having facing the unemployment situation. So as the COVID-19 infection spread out to the state with the most broken public health systems such as Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, and with the homeless and poor being excluded from highly privatized health facilities in cities, these peoples are going and doing, something. Hunger is increasing because of the other problem also, like having the money in their hand and spending in not in the good health. Okay, definitely they will go in hunger, definitely lead to the hunger problem. So it was actually talks about that please address this issue, that with no reliable access to care it is there. So definitely hunger will relate to poverty, unemployment. Okay, then proper out of pocket expenses also, we can say that all this is reason that to be being a hunger more increasing, hunger people increasing day by day in our country. Next talks about, can a NEP fix access to universal education? Okay, national education policy, can access to universal education. So he said that, see, invest now, it is not enough. This article talks about that only the national education policy is not enough. Please do care with the research, investment in research also. Okay, and that too not research in post academic things after your 10 12, but in the school itself you can have a the country should now think about the research and investment in research from the school level itself. So this article talks about that how it is now NASA has proposed in the forms of technology readiness level. Okay, one proposed is that TRN1 correspond to observation of basic principles. Okay, first you learn the basic things in the research, then correspond to formulations of technology in the another level. So you can say that measures to be taken care. You can say that as per the NASA suggestion that TRL1 basic level and TR1 advanced level of technology investment and technology research can be also take care in our country. One can divide post academic research into early stage of this and late peer into done this. So you can say that only these things are not enough. Definitely there is an investment needed in the research part also. So it will result in what? Product or process, better clinical practices. It can their scientifically robust understanding of human health and disease. So definitely lot of investment will increase this kind of benefit, and often said that India's investment in research is lower than that of an advanced country. So definitely we know that investment in our technology is very less. Okay, so definitely India also has to talk about investment in the research sector. And judging down the science and technology based on publication provide an incomplete picture. So why is it that industry that have high technology intensity such as aircraft, space, medicines, instrument have a low presence in India? Why there is a low presence in India? Because India is not attaining, the GDP is not particular investment and research. Okay, so this you can say that because of this, please become a Atmanirbhar, because it has talks about to make in India program like that. Now PM, our Prime Minister Narendra Modi talks about Atmanirbhar Bharat, which is another name of Make in India program from other sense. Okay, so you can say about this. So this is the end of the part 1 of our social issues, this one. Okay, social issues, current affairs. I hope this session very gives lot of improvement and informations related things will help you in structuring your answer. So the next informations I want to like here to give, like the test batch and another optional is also starting after your prelims exam. So please do watch regular basis this video, which is the good initiative, I can say, that will collect lot of informations in your exams before you will go and test by the UPSC. So you can go and contact with this. So thank you so much.